Hi everyone, I'm Josanne Leonard, and on behalf of Royards Publishing Company Limited, I'm really happy that you could join us for the launch of its new digital publishing platform. Before we dive into it, we would like to extend our heartiest congratulations to the people of Barbados on becoming a republic just like us here in Trinidad and Tobago. Many of us stayed up a couple nights ago to witness the historic moment, so happy Independence Day and Republic Day to our friends in Barbados. About today's business, technology and smart devices have transformed the publishing landscape and the way we engage with reading material. From education to research journals, to literary entertainment, to children's literature and even audiobooks, and the list goes on. It's estimated that the new global book publishers market is expected to grow from $87.92 billion in 2020 to an expected $104.21 billion in 2025. Those are really big numbers, and the question is, how can Caribbean publishers, authors, ministries of education, organizations, content creators get in on this action when we know the distribution channels are owned and controlled by big players like Amazon and eBay and many others? Closer to home, have you ever been put off from writing your own book, telling your story, or bringing your unique folktale to life because it's too costly to do on your own? And even more daunting, impossible to find a publisher to finance your project and market you internationally? How about creating your own children's books to spark their imaginations and even unleashing their creative talents? What about learning? Caribbean classrooms brimming over with students using textbooks on smart devices as part of a massive Caribbean digital colony. We know it takes vision, investment, and commitment. So enter Digital Canopi. Today, to talk with us are Dwight Narain-Singh and Sheldon Monderoy, the creative minds behind this Digital Canopi project. Plus, we have some interesting guests dropping in, including Minister John King, Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister with responsibility for culture in Barbados, Wayne Naked, Trinidad and Tobago's Deputy Chief National Officer at the new Ministry of Digital Transformation. Plus, we have friends from around the region and especially some of our authors who are already on board with Digital Canopi. So when we come back, we meet Dwight Narain-Singh, the lead on the Digital Canopi project. Welcome back, everyone. This is the special live event launch of Digital Canopi coming across on many platforms here on Facebook and on YouTube. We'd like to encourage you, if you're in our audience, if you have any questions and comments to make, to please share them with us, and we'll be attempting to answer them during the stream. Well, as we promised, we have a whole slew of guests, and the first one in this morning is one who's very important. I'd like to welcome Dwight Narain-Singh. Welcome, Dwight. It's great to be here, and I know you're very excited to be part of this launch. I know some of the blood, sweat, and tears that has gone into this. So before we get in, though, can we talk a little bit about Royards, the thinking behind it, really what has driven the project to this point?
Well, Josanne, it all began during the onset of COVID-19. And during that time when our country went into lockdown, we saw many things changing around us, and naturally, we thought of how families and friends, businesses, and life would be affected. We examined how we would navigate the future. We looked around and saw that technology was being utilized in various aspects in response to the pandemic. healthcare, distribution of goods and services, and we naturally thought of a way to apply technology to our publishing industry. We think that one of the most effective tools that we have in this COVID environment is technology. Mind you, we were already intent on adding ebooks as an option to our physical books. The pandemic, it just accelerated our push to do so.
So, right, let's give our audience a little bit of the backstory of Royards and how Digital Canopi came about.
We are very excited about creating this digital space to house and showcase our great Caribbean literary heritage. Digital Canopi will open many possibilities for our local and regional publishers and authors, and not only tell Caribbean stories and share them with the world, but to make it easy to monetize their work. Digital Canopi is a robust e-commerce platform that will give publishers and authors total control of their intellectual property. It's a very simple process.
Dwight, you're really making this sound like easy peasy.
It is, Josanne. As a publisher or self-published author, you just need to have a PDF of your book or journal and you're ready to get published. You log into digitalcanopi.com, create your account, upload the PDF of your book, fill out some of the required information, and hit publish. Then all that's left to do is to drive traffic to your page and encourage the public to purchase your book. It's that simple.
So I'm a bit curious here. Your company, RPC, is a traditional book publisher. Does a platform like Digital Canopi not hurt your business model?
Not at all. Royal's Publishing Company was created over 35 years ago, and we now have close to 150 educational titles. As the world goes digital, we have to adapt, and I think it's critical that we have Digital Canopi so we can offer many of those same textbooks and new editions as ebook options to our schools and students. We're not really bastardizing our traditional publishing business, but as far as RPC goes, we're responding to the need for blended learning and digital shifts which COVID-19 forced us to face. By doing this now, we're hopefully supporting the digital transformation in education and creating new avenues for businesses' sustainability into the future.
Surprise, surprise, your dad. He's here with us this morning, and you know how he avoids these things when he's ready. So we're really happy that he's going to be with us. So when we come back, we're going to be joined by Clifford Narayan Singh, founding managing partner of Royards Publishing. Stay with us, and don't forget, keep posting your comments and your questions. Hi, Clifford. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
You know, it's been quite the leap moving your traditional publishing business into the digital realm. And one would say at such an accelerated pace as well. Bold. What's it been like for you having made the decision as a company to move so quickly?
Well, good day to you, Josanne, and to those who are viewing this launch. This initiative started with Dwight, and I have been giving him all the moral support. He has shown the passion, he has shown the courage and the patience to face up to the complex challenges of this technological venture.
Oh, that's a big endorsement coming from Dad. What has the process been like for you as the paternalistic figure, figuratively speaking, though?
We have to make this digital shift. Royad continues to produce material for the Caribbean Society, which we have been doing for the past 35 years. We respond to the academic, social, and cultural needs of 20th, 21st century civilization. And we will continue, but Digital Canopi will complement Royad's work.
Well, that's a great point, Clifford. But before you leave us, we know that in addition to your textbook obligations, you've been pretty busy in the last year and a half, writing 2 authorized biographies under the Royards banner. You want to share a bit
Yes,
about
I just completed the work on Ken Charles, Mr. Stolo, the legendary Ken Charles, quite an icon. And he has shown, during that period, Ken had shown this passion, the indomitable will, the resilience. Throughout his life, he has shown that. And it's quite the kind of icon that people will emulate, and the younger generation will emulate. Together with that, recently we have published two major works, one by Tony Dial entitled Tony Dial Was Less Seen, well worth the reading, and also Ken Ramchand's collection of essays entitled Matters Arising. It's a kind of collection which will invite or appeal to multiple audiences: the historian, the sociologist, the educator, and the common reader. And it's available on Digital Canopi as well as in hard copy in all bookshops.
Well, we said 2 biographies. The second one is?
Yes, well, the other one, in January of 2022, my other authorized biography on Shivnara and Chandapal will be released. Right, and we're hoping that we'll have a launch for that.
Great. Well, I know that you have something up your sleeve for us this morning that is a little unexpected, that just you and I know about.
Yes.
Yeah. So you want to release that surprise?
Well, you were the one
now?
who prompted me, really. And it's a poem that I wish to share with the audience. And I think it's appropriate for this occasion.
Well, take it away.
It's called World Wide Webbing. Here I come, ready or not. Logging on, but not in yet. Going to surf the internet. Zapping through the atmosphere to the server in the air. Here beyond HTTP, magic pages wait for me. Amazing info you can get surfing through the internet. Homepage, chat room, ads and news. Many sites from which to choose. Look it up if you forget. It's all there on the internet. The windows of the world unfold, and the addresses of the world are there. As you search through the internet, it's Digital Canopi that you get. And I've learned my netiquette for surfing on the internet.
Oh, wonderful. Digital Canopy is what you get.
I feel it's appropriate for the occasion.
Well, lovely. That was really nice.
Yeah.
So before you leave us, any parting words?
Well, I'm proud to welcome everyone to Digital Canopi. And this will be progressive. This will progress if we get the collaboration of teachers, educators, institutions, and readers. And it's one tent, and we invite all the audience and everyone to come within that tent. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Clifford. That was a really nice poem and a really nice sentiment as well, expressed to everyone to come join in and be part of the whole collaboration. Thanks.
Thank you, and it's nice being here. And I'm sure that poem will resonate among the audience.
Great. All right. So we'll have more on Digital Canopi and our guests, authors, and greetings from around the region when we come back. So we've met the senior Narayan Singh. Dwight, welcome back. And just to remind all of you online that we're quite interested in hearing your comments and fielding your questions. So continue to interact with us. Well, Dwight, you've been handed the baton for this leg of the race and going forward. So how do you feel?
It's sobering to finally reach this juncture where Digital Canopi is up and running. We had to work tirelessly with our technology team led by Sheldon Monderoy of Blue Gurus, who grasped the vision. Without the deep pockets of R&D as exist in places like Silicon Valley and incubator hubs in Europe, Sheldon and his team did great to build what we call Phase 1. It's exhilarating, to say the least.
It's really good, Dwight, that you could get to this point and you could express such pleasure and excitement after the journey. And it actually might be the right moment for us to begin to talk a little bit more about the robust architecture behind the platform designed by Blue Gurus. Huh? So why don't we join Mr. Sheldon Monderoy, drumroll, Chief Technology Officer of Blue Gurus, who's joining us from Sweden. Hi, Sheldon.
Hi, Sheldon.
Hi, thank you. And yeah, I wish I could have some sunshine right now, but winter is coming, and Game of Thrones reference there, but we're on to a new direction.
Sheldon, we won't be able to do a full onboard session as this would take some time, but take us through some of the features on the Digital Canopi platform.
Right. I think for us, there are two sides to using Digital Canopi, of course. If we were to first look at the user side, for users, finding content on Digital Canopi is quite easy. You just enter the name of the book you're looking for within the search, or you can use our category search, you can use filters, you can search by author, by publisher, by genre, basically everything that you're looking for in terms of what the information you want, whether it's educational, non-fiction, fiction, they are all there for you on Digital Canopi at the touch of a button.
Sheldon, some people like to access their content on the beach, on the way to work, without Wi-Fi. Let's explain how they can do that with our offline readers.
Well, that's great. If you're going mobile, then take your device with you. Once you've downloaded the app, you then have access to Digital Canopi content wherever you go, no matter if you're online or offline. The process would be to first install the application, log into your account, and once you've logged into your account, if you've made any purchases of any ebooks from Digital Canopi, they will be listed there. They're either your purchase books or purchase subscriptions, all your content will be found there. Now, on first entry for any book that you've just purchased, you would first have to download to your device. It is then safely stored on your device in an encrypted format that can be only opened with the Digital Canopi reader. The same goes for all devices. Once a book is purchased on Digital Canopi, it requires the user's unique login to view that book.
That's really, really fabulous, Dwight. I mean, so basically what Sheldon explained there is what this is unique to Digital Canopi, these readers?
Yeah, we're really proud of this reader because it's been developed for Digital Canopi, and it's available in Android and iOS and iPhones.
Wonderful. Well, great job there, Sheldon. But listen, I know that you have some more info, so to speak, to share with us. But we actually have someone backstage because, as you know, we're live on 2 or 3 platforms this morning. And we have a friend and colleague in Jamaica from Kingston, Clyde McKenzie. And we want to welcome Clyde to share a few sentiments. So please hang on and we'll be back with you in a jiffy. Welcome, Clyde, all the way from Jamaica.
Thank you so much, Josanne. It's always a pleasure to be in your company.
I know this.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with speaking the truth, my friend.
So, Clyde, you've made some forays into publishing. We're launching Digital Canopi here in Trinidad for the region. What do you think, as a Caribbean man, the possibilities that this represents for Caribbean publishing?
Digital Canopi is an important project for the region. So often we have heard of different distribution mechanisms, but they are not dedicated to the Caribbean, which is a space that is fertile for literary and musical output. And so I think having an entity which is devoted and dedicated to Caribbean literature is most important, because we're seeing a flourishing of Caribbean publications these days. And, even in Jamaica, we're seeing the rise of so many young and gifted writers, the Kai Millers, the Marlon James, and, the Aishian Hutchinson, and you could name so many of them, Sapphire Sinclair. They are rising and they are taking over the world. And the thing we want to know is that we can reach Caribbean people, and we can do so on our terms. And that, I think, is the important thing, because historically you find that our cultural products have often been controlled from the outside. And I think it's time to change that paradigm. What is happening is that I am now involved in the publishing business because I see not only the value of putting out books, but the subsidiary value, where you can convert these literary works into audiovisual content. And right now, we're doing the release of a book by Copeland Forbes called Reggae My Life Is. It's a play on Peter Tosh's Reggae My Lightis. He worked extensively with Peter Tosh over the years. He was there for a number of Peter's important inflection points in his career. And he has stories to tell, not only about Peter, who he worked with, but also a number of other Jamaican acts, including Marley, including Bunny Wailer, including Jimmy Cliff, including Tosh, including Dennis Brown. In fact, just to say, almost all of the major players in the Jamaican music industry he has worked with. And, the book is really very amusing and, chock full of anecdotes and historical information, and people get a back story on so many important events in Jamaican and Caribbean pop music. But one should understand that our music is so influential in modern popular culture. So, for example, when you hear about Peter Tosh, Copeland will also tell you about his relationship with Mick Jagger and all of these players. So the book is filled with encounters with people like Reverend Al Sharpton, with people like Don King, Richard Branson, Island Records head Chris Blackwell, and then all the stories about all the bands from the region, Third World, and their interactions with other bands, including the Commodores and so many of them. So it's a great story and a great book, and I'm looking forward to a collaboration with Canopi in terms of exposing this book to the region.
Right. So we got more than a sneak peek there. We got really the whole profile, really, of the book that's coming out, Copeland Forbes, and that's really exciting. Well, you and I can talk forever, but we have other people that we have to welcome. One of your fellow Jamaicans who's in Barbados presently, Natalie Rochester, because she's written a book, a children's book. Actually, she's going to be dropping in. So
that's my good friend.
Yeah, exactly. So, Mackie, we want to say thank you so much. Any parting words from Jam Down this morning for us?
Josanne and Dwight, what I would say is that I'm very excited about the times. I think people have been showing a great interest in Caribbean stories. And as such, I think this is a great opportunity, commercial and otherwise, for us to be involved in the business of publishing. And I want to congratulate Canopi on this venture.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gallery Man. Thanks, Mackie. It was really great that you could join us this morning. And we're going to go back now to Sweden to join Sheldon.
Thanks, Clyde. Sheldon, maybe now is a good time to explain how Digital Canopi gives publishers and authors the ability to interact, to modify, to track, and to manage their own content and sales through their own unique account on Digital Canopi.
With Digital Canopi, those who aren't published or those who are published or publishing houses can all have the same benefit on Digital Canopi. Once you create an account and you're approved, you can begin uploading your PDF content and have those for sale. Once you've uploaded your content and you've entered the relevant information for it in terms of pricing, the title, ISBN numbers, and so on, your book now becomes an official book for sale on Digital Canopi. You can add interactivity to your book. So let's say you were a teacher or you were willing to produce a multiple choice quiz type book for a practice test per se. And you can make this book a multiple choice, which your readers can then respond to the multiple choice questions, answer them, and receive a real-time score as they go through all the questions. This would help greatly with preparing for examinations and help our Ministry of Education and other relevant stakeholders in the education fraternity look at education in a different way.
Well, I'm sold. So anyway, here I am, Sheldon. I've uploaded my book, and my sales report, as explained by you, tells me that I have sold some books. How do I get paid? I want to know how I'm getting my money. Show me the money, guys.
Right. Well, first of all, transparency is one of the biggest factors of using Digital Canopi. We want to ensure that when our publishers or ebook content creators upload their content, that it is first secure and safe, and its reading formats are also protected. This is what we pay attention to before we get into the economics of your ebook content. Now that you know or have confidence in Digital Canopi being able to safely provide your content for reading, we can then go over to the financial side of things, which leads or lends to the ethos of Digital Canopi, which is efficiency and transparency for publishers. From the My Sales panel in the dashboard for publishers, there's a transparent list of all ebook sales, all itemized by row. You can have information as to the name of the person, the contact information of the person, the amount of the purchase, the book that was purchased for every item that you have. These are all on a lower level, but on a higher level, we have the general information, the total information for all your sales that you can drill down to and find as detailed as information as possible into each transaction that was made, down to the time and second listed for you and ready for export to XLS. So in terms of transparency, for every sale that takes place on Digital Canopi, you can trust assured that your funds are well accounted for as a publisher.
Dwight and Sheldon, we have some special guests dropping in, so please hold that thought as we welcome Minister John King, Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister with responsibility for culture and the creative economy in Barbados. We'll see you back in a few. Welcome, Minister. Welcome to the launch of Digital Canopi. It's so great to have you join us from the newly minted Republic of Barbados.
Thank you very much, Josanne. How are you?
Doing very well. And before we dive in, how were the celebrations over the weekend?
Fantastic. Hectic. We've had a number of people coming in from different parts of the world to join us for this occasion, and everything has been good.
Great. Well, I'm so happy you could take a little bit of time out of your busy schedule to share a few words with us this morning as we launch Digital Canopi, a platform for Caribbean literature, education, writing, journals, anything of any sort. You're the minister with responsibility for culture. You're a performer and artist yourself. What do you think something like this means for not just Trinidad and Tobago, but Barbados and the entire region, particularly, firstly, in the literary community?
All right, so the great thing about this, Josanne, is that someone had mentioned many years ago when we reached the moon that this was a giant leap for mankind, but this is a giant leap for the Caribbean. When you think about the literary arts, oftentimes the truth is we don't know very much about what's happening in a lot of the other territories at all. There'll be some seminal names that will probably pop out from various countries, but on a whole, with the newer people coming into the sector and all of that, there really needs to be something that gives us the opportunity to share quite easily and to purchase and support the arts. So this is timely, And I think this is something that's going to change the face of the literary arts in the Caribbean forever.
Well, you know, we talk a lot about our creative industries and creative economy, John, but it's not. It's great in terms of being able to create an ecosystem around what we produce in the Caribbean. But your feelings about someone as an artist yourself, about people being able to access more easily as well, which is what the technology is supposed to do.
Well, technology allows us to do that a lot easier than back in the day when we were making records and then CDs and all of that stuff. The problem is, though, that we've still got to find a way to re-educate our people about the value of the things that we produce, that our artistic community produces in the Caribbean. You know, it pains me from time to time to see that a lot of our literary persons get awards all over the world and in different places, but at home and within the region, it just seems like we take everything for granted. And that's one of the things that I think all of the ministers of culture across the Caribbean need to really come together and try to address this particular problem by way of educating our people to the value of the things that we create ourselves.
Before you go, John, you don't wear the hat of the Minister of Education, but of course, in the COVID environment, so much had to go online, and we found ourselves really in some spaces where it was very difficult to operate, to keep learning going, not just from the standpoint of children and families not having devices or internet or that kind of thing, but even having the tools online. So what would you say as a Caribbean citizen that a Digital Canopi can offer the educational sector by making ebooks, e-textbooks and resources more readily available?
Well, what else can I say? But this will be just fantastic. I think what it will offer even more is for those persons who may have been, let's say, marginalized, just not being able to get actual physical books into their homes. Now, as long as you've got a good internet system, you're opened up to the world in terms of your education, and this certainly fits into that realm quite nicely, and it gives all people the opportunity to learn as much as they can, again, through the writings and the creativeness of our own people, but again, as I mentioned earlier, what comes in from the rest of the world. So I think the Caribbean can only benefit from Canopi, and I'd like to just take this opportunity to salute those persons who have invested, and those persons who have not invested just only money, but invested time and also their own creativity in bringing this platform to the Caribbean, which I think will, like I said earlier, will change the face of the Caribbean forever.
Thank you so much, John. Your salutations and your sentiments are so much appreciated. Yeah,
Thank
Dwight?
you, Minister. Yes.
Yeah, great. Also taking time out from his punishing schedule to be with us is Wayne Naked, Director at the Ministry of Digital Transformation. This is a newly created ministry with a huge task. We've asked him to share some brief remarks about his ministry's strategic focus and how it intends to work with private sector initiatives like Digital Canopi. Good morning, Wayne, and thank you so much for joining us. I read your remarks to AmChan, and I thought it would be helpful if you could give us some brief insights of what we can expect from your ministry.
Thank you for that introduction, and good morning. On behalf of Senator the Honorable Hassel Backus and the Ministry of Digital Transformation, we would like to thank Royals Publishing Company for inviting the ministry to participate in the launch of Digital Canopi, their e-commerce platform. Let me begin, Josanne, by giving a brief overview of the Ministry of Digital Transformation and some of our priorities and projects. You would have noticed that there were recent changes in the ministerial portfolios, and in particular, the emergence of the Ministry of Digital Transformation as a separate entity. This really reflects the high priority by government on digital transformation and on the digitalization of the public service as a critical success factor for the sustainable development of Trinidad and Tobago. This is in keeping with the Vision 2030 plan and the ICT Blueprint 2018 to 2022. Now, in order to accomplish this, the solution is really simple. We at the ministry, we must work hard, we must work collaboratively, and above all, we must work in partnership with our colleagues in government, with other foreign governments, with civil society, international organizations, and most importantly, the private sector, with organizations such as Royals. What I'd like to share with you is the mandate of the ministry as expressed by the minister. It's a new way to address the end-to-end consumption and delivery of goods and services to customers using the appropriate digital technology. It's a new way. We want to show other ministries, departments, and agencies, and really the people of Trinidad and Tobago, the possibilities of powered by technology and what can be achieved. Just think of the art of the possible. Think of the art of the possible. And I mentioned end-to-end consumption of goods and services. We want to move away from the old fragmented and siloed approaches of old. We do recognize that every entity is an independent organization, but we are all interdependent on information and data. The use of appropriate digital technology, well, it must be fit for purpose. The key sentence, or the key word, in that mandate is customers. Who are the customers? The customers are you and I, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. Citizen-centric service delivery must be the focus of our transformation efforts. Instead of thinking we know of their circumstances, we have to ask them the questions. What do they need? When do they need it? How do they access it? It's only once we get the answers to these questions, then we are on the right path, and the technology would really be the tool that we use to get us there. Now, there are some guiding principles by which our ministry is moving forward, and there is an underlying philosophy. It's crafted in Trinidad and Tobago, built on open source, and shared nationally. That is, built in Trinidad and Tobago for Trinidad and Tobago. And our transformation agenda really focuses on three key pillars. Digital society, that is ICT for all, which speaks to the need to ensure that all citizens not only have access to digital technologies, but are also able to use it effectively. And we have a number of projects around that. Then there is the digital economy, which is about the digitalization of private sector agencies in Trinidad and Tobago and the economic opportunities created by new and emerging technology from which our local entrepreneurs and investors can benefit. As you know, government is looking to diversify the economy, and we see the growth of the ICT sector as a key component in that strategy. And the main focus of the third pillar, digital government, will be of no surprise to anyone within the government's ICT community, with its emphasis on key initiatives such as upgrading of the local government portal, TT Connect, offering new citizen services and information, the creation of the Developers Hub, which will facilitate the economic development of a government cloud. And one of the projects that I'm really excited about is the new national ID system. And now there are a number of foundational and focus items for our projects, and they're guided by actually these principles: connectivity, collaboration, content creation, and changing culture. As I would have mentioned when I talked about those three principles, there are a number of projects that the government has identified, which we would like to execute on over the next, let's say, 6 to 9 months. So you're going to be hearing some great things from us. Josanne, I'll just hand it over to you.
We knew from the private sector, so you can appreciate the pace at which companies have to innovate. How can companies like Royards, with services like Digital Canopi, work more closely with your ministry?
Yeah. You would have seen, or you would have heard me talk about our underlying philosophy. Our underlying philosophy, made in Trinidad and Tobago, for Trinidad and Tobago. Gone are the days when we look at international companies to bring in solutions here into Trinidad. Yes, we're still going to rely on them, but we want to start building on their platforms. We want to start building because we want that knowledge transfer to take place. We want to encourage the local development community to start building applications for the government, for the private sector. Now we are going to have an asset that we can sell. We can look at selling these assets regionally as well as internationally. So yes, this ministry, our mandate is to encourage as much as possible local talent. We want to build in Trinidad and Tobago for Trinidad and Tobago. And that's what you're going to see us stressing on over the coming years.
Well, I am sure that our technology partners, Blue Gurus, are going to be probably seeing this as a moonshot for them, listening to the confidence being expressed by the ministry in terms of embracing and facilitating the intellectual capital, the technological intellectual capital that we have. Wayne, thank you so much for taking the time to join us this morning. And I know that we're going to be constantly, it's a revolving door. And we look forward to being part of building this new digital ecosystem for Trinidad and Tobago and the wider Caribbean.
Thank you, Josanne. It was my pleasure.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Naked.
Sheldon, hi. Before we went to our guests, you were showing us some of the technological features on the Digital Canopi platform, aided and abetted by your partner in crime here, Dwight. So you want to pick this up?
Yes, we were in producing Digital Canopi, and during its development, you start to see use cases as you complete one objective. You start to see where this can be applied, and some of those things were actually we looked at, for example, government legal documents, for example, the Ministry of Legal Affairs. Any encyclopedia that they may have for Trinidad and Tobago law, they can publish on Digital Canopi, and people can purchase those directly. Schools and educational facilities, they can make specific deals with authors that they would buy licenses for 1,000 copies, and that author can then distribute to them 1,000 codes, which will then give access to the 1,000 copies they bought the licenses for. So in terms of both sides of expanding upon traditional business, we have the using Digital Canopi for access to content. So companies, for example, can put their ebook content on Digital Canopi that they want to have secured and only have to have access to a specific group of people. We can make private viewing for that. So it's on Digital Canopi, but it's not really on Digital Canopi for the public. And only their users with a specific code can view these protected content according to whatever company policies there may be. So there are many directions for us to go to with ebook DRM, which is digital rights management, including heading to audiobooks as well, which is what we have as carded as our next release. It's almost done, and we are looking to expand into that area as well. So here we have Digital Canopi for digital books, and soon we'll have something that we won't mention yet in terms of the name. We'll leave that for later. But we have audiobooks coming as well.
Well, you've given us a lot of your time this morning, and I know, Sheldon, that you're preparing to fly south.
Yes.
So you've got to run, and we're going to be seeing more of you in Trinidad and Tobago in person as protocols permit, of course. So thank you so much, Mr. Monderoy, and we shall see you anon. Travel safe, and see you in TNT.
See you guys soon.
Soon come, as they say in Jamaica.
Will do. All right. See you guys.
So Sheldon is off, and now it's time for us to welcome another one of our guests from in the region. This time it's Dr. Annalie Babb. Annalie is the CEO at Intersections, and she's a former special envoy to the government of Barbados. She's a thought leader who specializes in the strategic implications of digital convergence. And I could go on and on and on. Annalie, welcome.
Thanks so much, JL, Dwight. It's wonderful to be here to give a shout out to the team at Digital Canopi and to congratulate them on the amazing initiative they've built to boost online learning in the Caribbean. As you know, Josanne, I've been working on many fronts to champion the region's creative, cultural, and tech sectors. We have so much talent, so much capability, so much drive and determination. It really is time for us to make a shift in how we see ourselves that is required to fully engage with the world. Sometimes it's about the environment around us and the challenges we have to overcome as small island developing states. But sometimes, as you know, it's about belief. Belief in ourselves as individuals, entrepreneurs, and enterprises, and belief in each other, in the tangible value we bring to the table. When I was doing my doctorate at the Fletcher School at Tufts University in Medford, Massachusetts, I was bold enough to make the case to my dissertation committee that the revolution in digital information and communications technologies has the potential to allow the tiny islands of the Caribbean to do big things in the world. It has taken us a while to get here, but I believe conditions are coming together nicely for the Caribbean to be a leader in providing solutions to some of the world's most intractable challenges. I'm just happy to be able to support DC and to look forward to utilizing their platform myself. Not many people know I'm a writer by training and inclination. And like you, my first profession was journalism. I'm working on a book right now, as a matter of fact. So I expect to be hitting up the DC team for some guidance on publication in the new year, God willing. There, I about it myself, so now I have to deliver. Congratulations to the DC team. I encourage our region's creative class of publishers and authors, and those from outside the region, to make full use of Digital Canopi as an online publishing platform that gives us the chance to own our own means of production and distribution, to sustain livelihoods and create real wealth in the Caribbean region. Bless up.
Well, we're having a magnificent time this morning with the launch of Digital Canopi. Please don't forget to post your comments and questions in the chats so that Dwight and Sheldon can address them as time permits. Well, moving right along, we get to meet some of the first cohort of Digital Canopi authors and publishers. We're so thrilled that they came on board as the platform was being tested while it was being developed. That was a real show of confidence. Dwight, you've been along for this ride. I know it's been sometimes long sessions and sleepless days and nights, and you've been onboarding with a number of these people. So I think it's only fitting that you get to introduce the next segment.
Sure, I'd be happy to. Coming up, we have a special group of people who I consider our foundation clients. Those who dived right in the deep end with us. We're grateful for your show of confidence. So here they are.
Drum roll.
This is Marsha Bloomspeaky. I'm the founder of Caribbean Books Foundation, and I'm also a local self-published author and illustrator. I write children's books, romance, and folklore fantasy fiction. My goal is to introduce the world to Caribbean tales and to tell our stories our way. Today, I'd like to give Digital Canopi a standing ovation, a round of applause, because you are providing a much-needed, united Caribbean platform for writers. As we tell our stories, we also need industry support to promote and sell these stories. This is a wonderful opportunity for Caribbean authors. I encourage the public to support Digital Canopi in this brave and pioneering move by purchasing books on the platform from regional authors. Let us work together to make a new standard. Thank you.
First, I'd like to say a great big congratulations to Dwight Narayan Singh and the entire team at Digital Canopi. It's wonderful to have such a facility here in the Caribbean for us Caribbean authors and publishers. And it is my hope that through Digital Canopi, we'll be able to reach more and more people in Trinidad and in the Caribbean and soon in the wider world. So congratulations to you, Dwight, and your entire team.
Hi, Josanne and Dwight. Thank you for this great opportunity. Very happy and delighted to be on board. Looking forward to great results.
Hi there. My name is Katrina Khan Roberts, and I'm a first-time author from Trinidad and Tobago. Digital Canopy is so exciting for me as an opportunity because it gives me the flexibility to put my books as e-versions on the internet. It's a platform that is so necessary now, especially with post-pandemic world, to keep us all safe but still have access to each other's amazing talents. I look forward to all the wonderful things ahead, and I encourage all authors and publishers and everyone involved in literary works in the Caribbean to definitely subscribe to Digital Canopy and their amazing service. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. My name is Philip Simon, Trinidadian author of this local children's book, Petra and the Pui, and I'm just here to congratulate Digital Canopy on the launching of their website. This is exciting news for me as a local author, but not just myself. It is an exciting news for everyone, I believe, because now local authors like myself and regional authors and book writers can now have a place that they can sell their books electronically, as well as now we have a platform to sell our books to not just in the region but internationally as well. So now people internationally can have access to our history, our stories, and all the other great things. So I just want to congratulate Digital Canopy on this fantastic venture, and I want to encourage everyone to get all of their regional and local books on their website, including mine, Petra and the Pui.
Hi, I'm Tony Dial. I'm the author of Tony Dial Was Last Seen. I wanted to thank, first of all, Royals Publishing, and now it's Digital Canopy, for really helping me to get my book out, to get it noticed, seen, published, and for people to get a sense of what it is about and who I am and why they should get my book. I've been writing now a particular column in the Caribbean newspapers for the past 28 years, and finally decided and was encouraged by my friend Professor Kenneth Ramchand, who is also in the Canopy, to have a book instead of just putting the columns together as I do online. I'm really pleased to be part of this. I would encourage any author to join and to really get an opportunity to show who you are, what you do, and why people should read your books. Thank you very much.
Hi guys, my name is Shivani Ramut and I am a newly published children's author. I had the privilege of working with Mr. Dwight Narayan Singh and Digital Canopy. I placed my book there and I was able to watch it grow. I was able to track my sales. I was able to see my buyers, where my product was being purchased and who were the purchasers. It was quite easy to use, very easy to navigate. I myself am very not tech savvy, and Digital Canopy has to be one of the easiest websites I've ever maneuvered. It's very simple once you put your book there to watch it grow. You can go on, everything is labeled clearly. It's very, very easy to access. I would highly recommend it to any publisher, writer, or creator of content who wants to get their product out there on the international forum.
Hi, good day. My name is Asif Kasim and I'm a first-time author. Being a newbie into the industry, I have to be honest, I had no idea on what to do and what not to do. However, in partnering with Digital Canopy, I didn't have to worry. They provided me with all the information I needed to get through the process, from answering all my questions to referring me to illustrators locally and internationally. From my experience, Digital Canopy is very welcoming, accommodating, patient, caring, friendly, and most of all, want to see all local authors flourish.
So Dwight, more greetings coming in, and I'm really chuffed about that. I don't know about you. Yes, yeah. So let's have a look.
Okay.
Hi, Josanne. Hi, Dwight. Well, when my cousin Cedric asked me if I would help him with a book he was working on, I immediately said yes. We had only met once before, but I had already recognized storytelling skills in Cedric as he shared anecdotes from his childhood in Trinidad. We ended up spending many hours together working on his memoir. Sometimes there were difficult memories and realities to confront, but we pushed on bringing forward the twists and turns and the ever-present steel pan in Cedric's life. But finding a publisher proved harder, even more grueling than finishing the book. We were both overjoyed and relieved when Josanne introduced us to Digital Canopi. I mean, after all, we didn't spend all that time and energy to complete a book only to be relegated to the bottom of a drawer or to the emptiness of cyberspace. We really are very grateful for this opportunity to publish and hope we can share this life story with readers all over the world. It was indeed my privilege to work on this book with Cedric. Even though all of it was done remotely, many emotions were shared and we grew to know and understand each other profoundly. Thank you, Cuz. And thank you, Digital Canopi, for this opportunity.
The book is basically a biography of my life, and it deals with me growing up in Trinidad and getting involved with the steel drums. Even though I was forbidden, I was raised by my aunt and my grandmother. I was forbidden to get involved in steel drums. And I used to run away from home to learn to play pan. And eventually, when I became 18 years old, I went to Venezuela. My aunt sent me to Venezuela to get away from pan. And I ended up in Venezuela in pan again. And so I've made pan my life, part of my life. That's what I've made a living all through my life. And my journey details my years in Venezuela, early years in Venezuela, and years in America. So it's a 6-chapter book. Chapter 1 deals with Trinidad. Chapter 2 is Venezuela. And chapter 3, 4, 5, and 6 is America. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to move forward with my adventure.
I'm glad to be here because the launch of a new digital platform by Royags is a very important innovation. In the first place, it makes books from Trinidad and Tobago and from other islands available swiftly and cheaply within the region, as well as in foreign countries. And I don't know if you all thought about it, but I think that people far from the urban centers in Trinidad will also welcome this facility. It really must be very exhausting to have to come from Kumutu or Icacas to come to town or San Fernando to buy a book. So I congratulate my long-standing and generous friend, Clifford Narayan Singh, who is once again breaking new ground in publishing. May I add on a personal note that I would like to say how happy I am that my new collection, Matters Arising, will be on this platform. I'm sure that other writers in the region will be encouraged by its existence.
Hi, I'm Natalie Rochester, author of Hazel Hummingbird, La Colibri Azul, a bilingual children's picture book, which has also been translated into an English and Haitian Creole version, Hazel Hummingbird, Colibri Azul. The books feature a humming and buzzing Caribbean tropical garden with Hazel Hummingbird and her garden friends and children looking on. Thanks to Digital Canopi, you have a new way of enjoying this book as an ebook with a special child in your life while teaching them about the hummingbird, tropical animals, and flowers and directions and colors. I'm very excited about the launch of Digital Canopi, which for me is a new Caribbean home from which we can share our voice and our stories with the world. I'm very hopeful that this will be a new way of connecting with children in the Caribbean, in the diaspora, and in new communities the world over. I spoke with the folks at Digital Canopi earlier this year, and it was an immediate yes for me. They were very attentive to guiding me through the process of setting up the author portal explaining the terms of the agreement so that everything would be clear from the start, and making things as easy as possible for me. For me, it is important to have these types of distribution channels for us to access in the Caribbean itself, so we can influence how our content is curated and presented to the rest of the world. I'm looking forward to a long and productive relationship with Digital Canopi. And I just want to say congratulations to the Digital Canopi team on the launch. And on behalf of Caribbean authors, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to create this space from which we can share with the rest of the world. So thank you and congrats again.
Dwight, have you ever heard of or seen anything done by Market Vendor?
Yeah, I have. He's extremely funny.
Really?
Yeah.
What if I told you that we have a message from him about Digital Canopi?
Wow.
Yeah, surprise, surprise.
Real surprise.
You know, yeah, Market Vendor is a character created by Vic Fernandez, who is a media stalwart in the Caribbean for many, 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 many years. He was actually in the parent company. He was in one of the companies owned by One Caribbean Media, which is a pan-Caribbean conglomerate, TV6 and The Express and Starcom, and he was the CEO of Starcom. And he's quite a character, but I mean, over the years, as a younger person coming up, and I'm still young, by the way, he was at one time the president of the Caribbean Broadcasting Union, but he developed this character.
Right.
And here he is to say something about Digital Canopi.
All right.
Yes, it's me, Market Vendor here. So listen, I hear about this Digital Canopi thing that getting launched on the 3rd of December in Trinidad and Tobago. And because it's digital, it can be, you know, pan-Caribbean. It can be all over the world. If you've got something to say as a Caribbean person, you don't go wait for one of the big boys to publish it. These people will do it for you. You understand? Now, growing up, I read a lot of things in school that didn't make no sense to me. It's only later on, Market, find out them they're talking bare foolishness and nobody didn't really telling me about the true Caribbean history. Well, no, we can do it ourselves. We can set we own record. We can write we own books, we own journals and everything and get it put out there. A friend of mine think that he's smart. He tell me, Mark, can I like this Digital Canopi platform? I thinking about launching one for real estate. I got piece of land I would like to sell you digitally. Yes, well, you know, I tell him he can go and do with that. Anyhow, I'm only Market Vendor reporting here so for luck. Carter News Network. I gone for now. You hear?
Well, we've had quite a ride. I mean, I know you and the team over the last year or so, and certainly today. I mean, it was quite an enjoyable experience.
Yeah, we're just happy to be at this point. I want to say thank you to everyone who has contributed to Digital Canopi and its production. And I would like to just express how nice it is for Caribbean authors and publishers and even self-authors to have an outlet that can further their ambitions in publishing.
Well, as your dad says, the baton is now in your hands, Mr. Prospect.
Oh well, yes.
So, but I know it's exciting times ahead, and I want to really thank you for not just all of the effort, but for spending the time today and taking the time to engage with our audiences. And I'm sure you're going to be hearing a lot more from them.
I encourage everyone to check us out on www.digitalcanopi.com and see what there is on offer.
Thanks a lot, Dwight. When we come back, then it's to wrap up with what's next for you. I am so excited about what we've launched here today. This is not just a website. Digital Canopi is a fantastic opportunity for Caribbean people and people everywhere to own their unique stories and, more importantly, to be able to share it with the world. For us in the Caribbean, with an increasing recognition of the need for diversification, this is an important tool. As more and more publishers and content creators realize that they have to find new alternative income streams to be able to sustain their businesses. Digital Canopi is like rich soil. Use this e-commerce platform to create your opportunities. Digital Canopi is open and ready for business. Readers, publishers, content creators of all kinds, you now have a home right here in the Caribbean at Digital Canopi. So come join us under the Digital Canopi tent. I'm Josanne Leonard. Thank you so much for being with us.